Hey dogs, it's Juliana Russ, video producer for University Housing, back at you with another video. I can't believe that we're already this far into the semester. This is my 4th episode of Working Like a Dog, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. So let's get right into it.
So my name is Cassandra Saunders. I'm a first-year international affairs major. I use she/her pronouns, and I work at the SPIA Survey Research Center as a student assistant / interviewer.
I live in Mell Hall.
So I live on the first floor, so there's about like 20 other people on my hall, which I really like. And I just like that it's really central to everything. Like we're right by Bolton and Tate and all that, so it's really easy to get where you want to go. I really like that it's on the smaller side because when I was like researching different dorms at UGA, I was like, I definitely want like a more intimate, close-knit experience. And also just like the rooms are a lot bigger too. Just keep that in mind. If you are looking at high-rise versus low-rise, the rooms are bigger and it's just, I really like it. I think it's just a really good experience, especially as a first year, to get to know people because you're just in tight quarters with like other people your age. And it's really easy to make new friends and meet a lot of different people.
My name is Jehan Sheikh. I live at Lyndon Hall. I'm a first year at UGA. For me, it's just like always being around people, and especially like getting to classes and getting places. I'm like at the center of campus, so it's very easy to find out of new events going on campus and like hanging out with new people. So I'm a lab assistant at the PDRC, which is short for Poultry, Diagnostic and Research Center. And basically there's a professor named Dr. Brian Jordan, and his research is focused on developing a vaccine for chickens that have IBV. And IBV is basically infectious bronchitis virus. It's a type of coronavirus that only affects chicken. So basically my job is to process samples of these chickens so that the researchers can later on use them to develop their vaccine. And as well, I also clean up the lab and make sure everything's running correctly.
So I'm a student assistant and interviewer. So what I do is we conduct polls for third-party organizations at the SPIA Survey Research Center. So like we're doing one with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution right now. So basically we have randomly selected numbers and we just call different people in Georgia or the Atlanta area and conduct polls, which is really cool because it can seem a little long sometimes just calling people over and over again. But I really like seeing like the fruits of our labor come together where we see like the articles about the polls we did and how it's like influencing the elections and stuff like that.
I'm actually a pre-med student, and part of pre-med, a good chunk of it is doing STEM courses as well as research. And since I'm a lab assistant now, I'm able to acquire some new lab techniques that I'll be able to use in research later on. So I come into work after I'm finished with all my classes, and I meet with my supervisor, Sunny. She's super sweet. She's a lab technician there, and she basically tells me what needs to be done at the lab, just wherever help is needed. Basically, I do stuff like I clean the lab equipment. When everybody else is busy, I process samples. There's always samples coming in, like new eggs, like embryos and eggs, and new chicken samples. So there's always something to do at the lab.
I work in Baldwin Hall, so I'll like go up the elevator and then I go to my cubicle. So like we each have our little station with our computer, and then I just get to work. So if I haven't seen the poll before, I like go into test mode and I'll like look at the questions and just get ready to start interviewing people. And then I just start calling. So it'll like give me a phone number and then I just like dial it, call them and ask them the questions. Our first poll we did was for the upcoming mayoral election in Atlanta that's happening this November. So it's pretty soon. And it was like the first round, so we're on the second round right now. And I remember our boss, Dr. Hood, sent us an article by the AJC, and it was like conducted by students at the SPIA Survey Research Center, and it showed all the data, and I was just like, we did that. Like, it seems kind of monotonous when it's just like one person calling over and over again, but then when it all comes together like that, I think it's really cool, and I really think it contributes to like the democratic process. So I've been doing a lot of exploring with like what I want to do career-wise, but I know I definitely want to do something with like politics or international relations. And I think this is just really cool because it does tie into that. It ties into like what are people's opinions, which candidates do we want to help work to further our interests and things like that.
My supervisors have been very patient with me. Every day I'm learning something new, how to use a new machinery or like equipment, and they actually enjoy like teaching me new things, and I like that because like it shows that they have patience with me. Actually in high school I've had some previous research experience, so what I've noticed is that research is very diverse and it can work with all age groups. Like you can be in high school, you can be an undergraduate, and even a grad student. So coming in, there's a bunch of grad students in the lab and they've all been super welcoming. And research is really a learning process, no matter what level of education that you are, and you can pick up from anywhere. Like you can be a non-STEM student and pick up learning.
When I was thinking about coming here and listening to different people, they were always like involved with research, and I was always like, maybe. And then I never thought I would be, especially this early on, but I just was looking for jobs and I saw this one in like the SPIA newsletter, and it was like research opportunity, and I was like, that's really cool to be able to, get involved with that as an undergraduate, especially as a first year. There's a lot of different things, you just kind of got to dig for it. So I just think it's really cool and I'm excited about it.
I think research is a good way to get experiential learning like beyond the classroom, and I do know there are some research programs where you can satisfy the experiential learning requirement, so I think it's a good way to get that done. I would say look into the poultry department of UGA. It's really big and expansive. I know they're making a new building soon, and I would say to just like diversify your interest in research, because research can be so broad. It can be in STEM fields and non-STEM fields, and prior to coming to UGA I had no idea that poultry science was even a thing, so I would recommend just expanding your views on research.
I think it's just a really good opportunity, and it's, at least for me, like I'm kind of shy, so it's good to go out of my comfort zone and call people. I wasn't always super comfortable talking on the phone, but I think this definitely helped me a lot, just become more confident and more assertive when I talk to people. And I think it's just a really good experience to like have a well-rounded experience here at UGA, because you have your classes and like other activities you're involved with, but research really just ties it all together and helps you grow as a person.
Hey dogs! Thanks so much for watching my 4th episode of Working Like a Dog. This one was really fun to work on and I hope you enjoyed. See you in 2 weeks!